Hey there, beautiful people. I hope you are having a good day. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are continuing our QuickBooks course, and in this video, we will talk about the other current assets account type and its related detail types. So, without further delay, let's get started. First, we have the allowance for bad debts, and this is a contra asset account that reduces your accounts receivable for invoices you don't expect to collect. For example, if your cleaning service has a client who owns $4,000 but might not pay, you estimate around $400 as uncollectible, let's say, then you'd record that $400 in an allowance for bad debt account, okay, keeping your financials accurate without writing off the invoices yet. The next option we have is the development costs. And the development cost tracks the expenses for creating a product or service before it is sold, like a software or a prototype. If you'll recover the cost within a year, then you will record all of that right here. So let's say your tech startup spends $8,000 developing a new mobile game, expecting to launch in around 6 to 7 months. Then you record that $8,000 in a development cost account as an asset until the game starts earning the revenue. Next up, we have the employee cash advance. And the employee cash advance is for money you lend employees, expecting repayment or use for business purpose within a year. So, for example, let's say your catering business gives a chef $1,200 to buy ingredients for a wedding or a party to be repaid or documented within the receipts. So, you'd record that $1,200 in an employee cash advance account, okay, and then adjust it when they settle it. After that, we have the inventory, and inventory tracks the value of goods you hold for sale or production, like retail products or raw materials. So let's say you run a bakery that has $5,000 worth of flour, sugar, or baked good in stock. You record that $5,000 in an inventory account, and when you sell the cakes, QuickBooks move the cost to goods sold or another type of accounts. After that, we have the investment, mortgage slash real estate loans. And in this option, you have all your short-term investment in real estate or mortgage related assets, like a property you plan to flip within a year. So let's say your real estate business buys $50,000 worth of any product or anything to renovate and sell in 9 months. You'd record that $50,000 in an investment real estate slash mortgage loans, okay, keeping it as an asset until the sale of the property that you have purchased. Next up, we have the investment tax exempt securities. And in this option, you add short-term investment in securities like municipal bonds, where the interest is free from federal taxes. So let's say your consulting firm invests $12,000 in tax-exempt municipal bonds, planning to sell them within 10 to 12 months. Then you track that $12,000 in this account, separate from other investments. Next up, we have the investment US government obligations. And this option tracks the short-term investment in the US government securities like Treasury bill. So, for example, let's say your retail store buys $20,000 worth in Treasury bills to earn interest over the next 6 months. In that case, you record that in an investment US government obligation account and then move the proceeds to your bank when they mature. The next option we have is the investments other, and as the name suggests, so if you have any type of short-term investment that does not fit in any other category, then you can add them right here. Okay, so for example, your stocks or mutual funds, anything that you want planning to selling within a year, you can add them right here. So for example, let's say your graphic design business invest $15,000 in a mutual fund, expecting to cash out in 10 to 11 months. You track that in this account type. The next option we have is the loans to officers. And in this option, you will track the short-term loans to the company officers, not the government or any other type of officers, the company officers like the president or CFO. And these are expected to be repaid within a year. Okay, so those kind of investment will be listed right here. So, for example, let's say your construction company lends $6,000 to your CEO for personal expenses within a 12-month repayment plan. Okay, in that case, you would record that $6,000 in a loan to officer account, updating it when they repay. Next up, we have the loans to other, and this is similar as the last one. The only difference is that you give the loans to employees or third parties expected to be repaid within a year. Okay, so if you are, let's say, you have a coffee shop and you lend $3,000 to a barista for an emergency to be paid in around 8 months or 7 months, then you track that in the loan to others account, adjusting it when they repay or if you write it off. Then we have loans to stockholders, and in this option you will track the short-term loans to shareholders of your company. So for example, let's say you have a family-owned business and you lend $5,000 to a shareholder for a home repair due in around 9 to 10 months. Then you'll record that in a loan to stockholder account, reducing it when they repay your money back. After that, we have the other current assets. And in the other current assets, we have a catch. All the short-term assets that do not fit any other detail types, you can use them right here. So use it carefully to avoid the clutter. So for example, let's say your event planning business receives a $2,000 refundable deposit for a future wedding. Then you record it in an other current assets account until the event happens or you refund it. Okay, so any kind of refund, you can add them right here. Next up, we have the prepaid expenses, and the prepaid expenses tracks the payment for goods or services you'll use within a year, like insurance or a subscription. So, for example, let's say you run a marketing agency and you pay around $10,000 upfront for a year's software license, various software license. Then you record that in a prepaid expenses account, okay, and then move let's say $800 monthly to a software expense account. Depending on your subscription fee per month, you can move them one by one. So those are the prepaid expenses. Next up, we have the retainage, and the retainage is used in industries like construction, where a client holds back part of a payment until the project completes. So if you own a construction business, for example, and let's say your constructing business is owed $50,000 or $40,000 for a renovation, but the client withholds 10% or around $4,000 until final inspection. Okay, then you record that unpaid $4,000 in a retainage account until it is paid. Okay, so any kind of holdings until the work is done will be added right here. And finally, we have the undeposited fund, and the undeposited funds hold the payment you receive but haven't deposited in your bank account yet. So, for example, let's say your pet store collects $1,800 in cash and checks today but will deposit them tomorrow. Okay, then you'd record that 1,800 in an undeposited fund account and then move it to your bank account when you deposit it the next day. So these are the detail type, I think around 14 to 15 for the other current assets in your QuickBooks online dashboard. Each one helps you track short-term asset precisely, keeping your balance sheet and taxes in order. Always check with your accountant when setting up these accounts to match your business and the IRS rules. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.